This sniper wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11.
Vaginas.
Hey guys, it's Scarce here. Lots of news today, lots of exposure, and double upload.
Expose, 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 expose,
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm gonna expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here, and so from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories!
expose, 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 expose.
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm gonna expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you.
Expose, 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 expose.
It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Expose.
Expose, 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 expose,
Exposed. Exposed. Hashtag drama alert. There's news to expose. Hashtag breaking. SS Sniper Wolf has a vagina. More on that at 11.
Vaginas.
Hey guys, it's Scarce here. Lots of news today, lots of exposure, and double upload.
Expose, 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 expose,
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm gonna expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am completely pissed. I was gonna write a script for this video. Why am I still getting hate?
Hey, what's up guys, it's Scarce here, and so from now on, I am going to report the news. Let's go inside the stories!
expose, 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 expose.
You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Expose, 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 expose. You are exposed, sir. I'm gonna expose you. Expose you. Oh my god, expose you.
Expose, 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 expose.
It's time for some exposure. Some exposure. Some exposure. Expose. Expose myself to you. To you. To you. E-X-P-O-S-E. Expose. Hey guys, it's Scarce here. Lots of news today, lots of exposure.
Tell me about yourself,
and
Bert.
double upload.
Expose, expose, expose. Tell me about yourself. Expose, 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 expose. What do you fear, Bird? What do you fear? Show 'em who you are, Bird. This drink's to you. All right, this is getting too. No. Stop. This was your fucking idea, and that's getting way too weird, bro. No. Nope. That was some creepy fuck. Who wrote that? You wrote that? Or was that Fred? Did you? That was your idea? And you could. That was too much. That was way overboard. No way. Never again. Or at least pay me next time. You're a fucking weird bird. Weird. God damn fucking bird. He's a weird bird. Strange. Who's messaging me now? Dancing Carlos. You saw Carlos. Rich, I'm worried about you. You might need a therapist. Michael? I already have one. Call this Carlos and chill. I brought that bird to a whole new level, son. You don't understand the power of this bird. He's trying to get his last... He's trying to show you the true power of the porcelain bird before Nicolas Cage takes over. Dancing Carlos, more like spinning Carlos. He was spinning on a rotisserie, except he wasn't spinning. I don't even... Listen, don't confuse me right now. Biden's voters are getting weirder and weirder. I have no idea what's going on. I am really politically stupid right now. Muda has a video about the retro game market being manipulated. We should watch it. I have a feeling the same people are manipulating. I've talked about that already in video form. Give me a go to town and Grandpa excited. I don't have the spread your cheeks, man, but I do have.
Oh, yeah. You're getting Grandpa excited.
There you go. Got to get the bigger. I don't know, man. I want to order. Because I kind of start, now that I'm kind of getting into doing reviews again, in case you haven't noticed, I have a Ninja capture card where that's like a really ultra high end they use on like movie sets and stuff like that. But the files, even on the lower settings, are so big and they're so unnecessarily big for YouTube. I'm thinking of getting the Elgato, but it's $400. I don't know. Yeah, Solid Crusader. I'm probably going to talk about that tomorrow. As you saw, the two stories today were pretty big, and I don't like, unless there's, I kind of like keeping it to two videos, unless there's an absolute must reason that I have to, make a third video, like something huge pops up, like something about Halo Infinite. I like keeping it to two. So I had that for today, but I pushed it aside. And I'll probably talk about it tomorrow, and then I'll be called a Sony hater. Then the next day I'll say something negative about Microsoft because Microsoft screwed up, and they'll say I'm a Microsoft hater, and I'm just a man drinking coffee with a bird. Ah! Did your beak break my... You hear me now, right? You can hear me now. You knocked into the power button of the preamp. You knocked in. You ever sabotage my stream again, it's done. You understand me? Do you fucking understand me? I'll end you! I apologize for the technical issues, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the stream. Sorry about that. So that will be talked about tomorrow. Hey, Rich, how do you do this? So watch Angry Joe. Hey, Rich, I don't think eBay answered that. Wait, Rich was really saying while muted, butt cheeks, butt cheeks. King of Burgers, did you hear me talking? I just imagine you and Carlos on the you need to stop talking to a porcelain bird and smacking yourself across the face with cucumbers like it's someone's flaccid cock. Well, I've watched all of them. I've watched all of the Alex Jones Rage compilations on here. Yeah, I don't understand how he says he watched. I'm not even listening to the audio. Oh, God. And then I know like Tipster put out a tweet today saying that we should like go on there and try to hash out our differences, and it's not like I'm never gonna see eye to eye with his takes. He made it about more than his takes. I never made it about more than his takes. Like him losing his mind on Twitter about like the vapid virtue signaling during Pride Month. Okay, whoop-de-doo, all the companies did it. Like, that's all I talk about with him. Just his dumb fucking takes. And like whether I know she really works for him, but whether she actually had a control of his social media, when I question that. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I'm doing. He made it more than that. You know? That's it. That's all. I'm done. So, and listen, Jeremy, I'll stay in my lane. You stay in yours. It's that simple. You stay out of my shit. You know, but you can make a video criticizing me if you don't agree with one of my videos. And if you in the future make something that I don't agree with, I'll call you out too. But I'll keep it about your content, bro. If you were on Match.com, I wouldn't put up your profile. I wouldn't be shouting out like, and I won't do it here. I know some of them. Some of your troll channels. Even though I do know who they are, I still won't shout them out. Because I'm not a dick. Well, I am. But I'm not a malicious dick. That is a good-looking bird. Rich, put that good-looking bird back on the table. Maybe I will. Or maybe I won't. Jeffrey, I could have swore I saw you one time saying, oh, you got a Series X. Yeah, do you realize it's almost about a year and people are still having problems getting the console? You know what I'm saying? Do you realize it's going on a fucking year? Oh, you want the bird. You want the bird back on the table? Jesus. Let me see if he can stand. He's been on the sauce tonight. Hopefully he doesn't start tweeting. Oh! That was a sick burn. That was a sick burn. Jeffrey, you know what, man? You have a full pass for me, even though you don't have to ask me fucking permission. I'm joking, but when it takes the last time I've seen this, was with the Wii. Like well into almost 2 years it took. It was tough to get the Wii. If anyone else remembers that. It was not an easy thing to get your hands on the Wii. Yes, it was the Series X I saw you saying in Discord. Let me tell you something, man. You know what was a pleasant surprise today? I was playing Doom Eternal on the Series S at 120 hertz mode. That is impressive. I like that little fucking box, man, a lot. I like that box a lot. I think out of all the hardware that came out, that's the key thing, hardware. As a platform, I see the PS5 right now being more exciting, but that could change when more games come out. But from a hardware perspective, the Series S is the fucking coolest piece of kit for the price. I think the price is what makes if it was $400, I'd be like, pfft, or even $350, I'd be like, but $299 is a good fucking deal for that thing. Oh, the shirt. Damn it. Sorry. The nips. No, it's not on purpose. Like, dude, you have to understand, they make money when you have the hardware. And they rather you buy the hardware than scalpers buy the hardware. I assure you, this is not by design. That, like, maybe Nintendo, it's speculation. It's never been proven. Maybe Nintendo in the past before kind of held hardware back to make it seem like it's because it's human nature. You want what you can't have. But no, it's a much different time now where it's like, yeah, you want as many people to have your console as possible right away, so you're making money off of the licenses and software and accessories. So, no, I don't even think Nintendo's going to do the artificial scarcity tactic anymore. That was a thing back in the day. the market's too expensive now to artificially hold. Like, you want many people having your hardware as fast as possible to recoup the money, and so you could start going into the black again. It was not for her to get her hands on my Wii, if you know what Man, I remember the Wii was just a weird... I remember with a eczema many moons ago going to pick that up, and it was weird. Someone must have needed weed money or something, man, because the thing that I remember asking him, because that was when the Wii was still next to impossible to find. It was 2007, and someone brought their Wii in. Like, it must have been like they got it and they got it as like a gift, and like, yo, I need weed money or something like that. Because it was, the guy's like, look, this thing, he just didn't have the box, but this thing is brand new. Like, and you'll save like $30 on it. So I got that, and I remember playing Wii Sports, and it blew me away. But then the thing was, then you realize the gimmick, though. This is before Wii Motion Plus, and you're sitting there, you're swinging the racket, and your right man's hit is flopping, going hubba 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 hubba, and you're like, and then all of a sudden you just do the wrist flick once accidentally, and it's like, wait a second, my character swung the racket and hit the ball, and then you just go do it again, and then you do it again, and it's like, oh, this is bullshit. Yeah, I'm over this already. That was the thing. Everyone used to say, oh, fat ass doesn't like motion controls because he has to move. I'm like, no, when there's good motion controls, it's great. You know, I don't want every game because I think it would get tiring even if it was implemented well. But when there's good motion controls in a game, yeah, I'm all for it. But the gimmicky shit we got with a lot of the Wii games was not it, Chief. If I pay extra $50, will it stay on for another hour? You know it doesn't work like that, pal. If someone asks for the nips out, the nips come out, son. Mari, what do you leave? Having a good night? Have a good night. Having an actual conversation with someone on Facebook right now. He actually thinks the horse medicine works and Trump won the election. 3 farts. I can't. I just... I brought the Series S and memory card. I never looked back. And can we get a free the nip shirt? Yes, we can. I got to really talk to that company that I work with and get off my ass on that. I know I'm probably missing out on a crap ton of money from revenue on that. It just gets so tiring, though. Debate, like... It gets so tiring, just misinformation. You know. And people will believe a grifter and trust their science over actual science. I don't even want to say trust. Believe. Believe is different because, you know, human beings in any field can be corrupted. And science, I'm sure, can be corrupted too. But the reason we're here is because of medicine and science. Ridge Racer! But yeah, the Series S running, seeing that run, now that is another thing. Go and build a PC that can run Doom Eternal at 120 FPS steady or pretty close to rock solid for $299. I don't know what resolution it runs at, probably even 1080p. Rock solid 120 for $299. No fucking way. At least now. No fucking way. And again, I'm not shilling for any console. I don't give a fuck what you buy. You could buy a Soldier Boy console if you could actually get your hands on one. If you are happy with the Soldier Boy console and you are cranking all over that console, bless your heart. Oh, by the way, it is confirmed I am being shipped one, not from Soldier Boy, to review. So that should be fun. Oh, 2 fart screams. Ridge Racer. Ken and Tennis Television's Chameleon run this soldier game. Fuck Atari. I should have that as a soundbite. Fuck Atari. Yes. Hey, where and what did you go to college for? Horse psychology. I went for communications to Dutchess Community College. I don't know why I'm thinking about that so hard. I've said it 1,000 times here. That hurricane's horrible. You're in doubt, Lord Malthus. I know, man. That initial. I haven't turned mine on for a bit, but I want to start gaming again, and I have 2 Series S's. I have a Series X in my living room, and I live in a 2-family house, so I have a Series S in another living room, and I have a Series S in my bedroom that's hooked to my projector. 720p, only needs a Series S. I have a Series S in my living room. No, I have a Series X in my living room. And then in my other living room, I have a Series S. And it's great, man. Like, running games on that thing, it's just incredible what it could do for the price. I'm going to shut the hell up now. Why? No, I'm not. That's a lie. Why would I want to shut up? I'm streaming. Isn't that weird? And now we're getting this hurricane. Yeah, I feel so bad for the people down there too. And on top of all that, we're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. Autocorrect has become my. I remember it was weird. I was at Planet Fitness on an elliptical when Katrina hit down there, and I remember seeing like, oh my god, this is real. Holy shit. And it's just sad, and combined with what's going on with coronavirus, and their ICUs are full down there. Like, what the hell is going to happen? You know? Getting hurricanes up in the Northeast. But no, man. Remember, it's not real. Climate change is not real. It's a figment of our fucking imaginations. Even though every single scientist agrees that isn't paid by a corporation to artificially disagree that climate change is real and the temperature is going up, and that means the ice caps are going to melt, which in turn means that the ocean level is going to rise, which means there's going to be a bunch of refugees from areas that are coastal because people are going to have to move inland, which is going to cut down on resources. And if there's less resources, that means there's going to be wars to fight over the resources. So we're not going to be going to war for oil anymore, or at least as much. We're going to be going to war for water. Magically, we're going to have to liberate places with an abundance of fresh water. But no, climate change is false. It's not real. It's not happening. It's a figment of your fucking imagination. I'm just a man on the internet. That's just a bird on the internet. Yeah, COVID isn't real, but we'll take horse dewormer to treat it. But I thought you don't believe in scientists and science. But you'll believe one fucking idiot saying that he talked to a hack of a scientist or a doctor that told you to take ivermectin. The anti-masker who was holding rallies, the guy who was 30, just died. Thought the vaccine was tyrannical. Thought wearing masks was tyrannical. Wonder if he was thinking that before they intubated him. Right before. Bet you he wish he changed his whole thought process on the whole thing. But remember, COVID isn't real, even though it's killing people who believe it's not real. And climate change is fake. It's all not... It all doesn't exist, right? Fuck off with that noise, man. Fuck off with that noise. climate change is real. It's happening. We're literally seeing it right now. You can't even deny it anymore like it's a theory. Like, you're seeing it happen. Like, temperature places are reaching temperatures they have never been reached, at least since they've been recording them. We're getting hurricanes in places that we haven't gotten them before. In places that have had them, we're getting them more frequently. It was so hot in the Middle East that the pavement was, I believe it was India. I'm sorry. The geography doesn't matter. This is a true story, though. That the pavement was melting. It was literally melting under people's feet. But remember, climate change isn't real. Let's watch something you choose or chat suggestion. Okay. I don't understand how you could believe that climate change isn't real when it's literally happening. It's not like something we could fight about and then it's going to be like 50 to 70 or 100 years in the future. Like, it's right now. Right in front of us. It's happening. But, anyway, yes, let's watch something. Let's watch a Computer Chronicles video. That's actually a good idea, Vampire X. Trying to get a Series X after I get my next paycheck, but Inventory Bot gives me scalper consoles. I don't think it does that on purpose because I've seen stuff for retail plenty of times from it. I think by the time you get to it is that it's already gone and it's only showing you other matches of stuff that's in stock, albeit by a scalper. That's what I think is what's happening. Look up how PS2 sound was created. It's hilarious. Oh, yeah, I have done that before. But let's watch some Computer Chronicle stuff, man. It's old, like me. What was it? How to Build a PC 1993, right? Let me look up on YouTube. HorseTube. You just sell your oceanside house and everything will be fine. That's all you have to do. It took a second. Yeah, if you have a house on the water and the ocean, the climate does change. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. If it's water starts to rise, you just sell your oceanside home, make $5 million, and you'll be fine. Everyone has like a $5 million oceanside house, correct? It's like who can't afford healthcare? It's like if I can't afford that nice $10,000 leather couch, I don't buy it. My doctor finds out I had a heart condition that I was born with from birth, and you can't afford to get a surgery for it. Well, you just fucking die. Like, I can't buy that couch. But I can't buy that couch because I'm a multimillionaire by shelling bullshit. The hottest temperature in Dubai was back in 20 when it reached 120 Fahrenheit. My first 19 years was in that city. 120 Fahrenheit. But remember, boys and girls, climate change is not real. It's fake. It's make-believe, said fucking idiots on the internet. 120 degrees. That's where I read that from. It was in Dubai, where you went and you stepped onto the pavement, the asphalt would melt and stick to your shoes. Phone died the other day. RIP 2FA. Oh, shit. That sucks, man. So what, you're locked out of the phone? Oh. Build a PC. No, not 1993. Yes. No, I don't want to see. Buying a new computer. Okay, not by building, but buying. I know I need to bring the screen down. This is a good call. Vampire Horse Star. Look at Stuart Chouffet looking like he's a in shape man Good for you, Stuart.
brand of PC and what kind of display, how much memory, how big a hard drive, should you get a CD-ROM, and on and on and on. Today we'll help you answer those.
Should you get a CD-ROM to play those CD-ROM-like games like Quake? Actually, it was 1993. Like Doom? Da-da-dun, da-dun, 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 comb over on his head. Bird.
Those questions as we bring together a group of experts to give you advice on how to buy a new computer on this edition of the
Computer Chronicles. You notice how many conspiracies are meant to avoid responsibility? Humans aren't causing climate change or making COVID worse. Yeah. Anything that may be our fault, we find a conspiracy to not accept fault for. Because we suck as a fucking species. Oh, we're not making the climate change. It just naturally changes itself. Even though everywhere there's more you could literally prove that it's our pollutants causing it. And it's irrefutable. But no, you just sell your ocean beach house and just, move to the Hamptons, or actually the Hamptons are on the beach, but you just move somewhere in Colorado and just buy a $10 million home there and you'll be fine. That's what I'm going to do.
Computer Chronicles is brought to you in part by Intel, microprocessor technology for the software of today and tomorrow.
This man has a sultry voice, huh? The Computer Chronicles is brought to you by a man who speaks like he sounds like liquid syrup is coming out of his throat. Wait a second. Yeah. I don't know how to yodel. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is brought to you by Intel, maker of microprocessors that process shit.
Intel, the computer inside. Additional funding is provided by the Software Publishers Association, providers of educational materials to help manage software. Don't copy that floppy.
I'm floppy. A couple years ago, a baseball game in Texas was 100 Rangers fans didn't even bother. Well, of course you could. That's like, you'll die. Even if you're healthy, man, you're out 120-degree heat, you will fucking die. I mentioned this a while ago, but them and then Republic is idiotic, primal BS, and it's literally going to destroy. Well, it's going to here's the thing: the Earth is not going to be destroyed; it'll be destroyed for us. We're going to destroy it for us, but it'll just adapt and survive and move on from human beings. Unfortunately, justifiably so.
And by Hewlett-Packard, Personal Computer Division.
Your mom goes to college.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee, and with me today is Andy Reinhardt, West Coast Bureau Chief for Byte Magazine. Andy, we have two computers here, an IBM PC compatible. This is an
He's using Just for Men in that goatee. That is not a... I mean, yeah, his hair isn't gray either, but that is not a natural color goatee. That's like asphalt brown.
Vectra, a Macintosh Centris over here. They both look...
He spends a lot of time on that goatee. He spends like hours a day going, hair, by hair.
pretty much alike. The question I get from someone who's buying a new computer, what should I buy, a Macintosh or a PC? How do you answer that question?
I get asked
Well, I just took a shit right before this, and I totally forgot what I was going to say.
this question all the time. It used to be easier because the Mac was quite a bit more expensive than the PC, so it was partly a question of what you could afford.
Yeah.
But now the prices on Macs have come down so much that that's really not an issue. What you're going to do with the system is often a point that I...
Yeah, and even at that time, there was way more mainstream software for PC than Mac.
suggest to people, but in fact, the applications
Oh, especially in '93.
are about the same for both the systems. So I really think what it comes down to is
Yeah, what happened with that? Was that the guy who, when he was a kid, he, like, gingers have feelings too? Is that the guy? People keep sending me that. The video is just super low, man. I'll turn it up a little. I mean, there's only so much I could go.
How much computer expertise you have going into it. And if you're willing to get in there and roll up your sleeves and kind of get to know the system really well,
It's American Ashes.
you can still get some better deals on PCs, but they are harder to use. You have to mess around with AutoExec BAT and config sys files and dip switches and jumpers and IRQs
Yeah, back then, yeah.
and that sort of thing. I think with the Mac, basically everything works out of the box. Now, of course, they're trying to correct that with the PC, with the plug-and-play initiative, but that's not going to take effect until next year.
Would it depend on kind of what machines your friends have or what you have at work?
Yeah, I actually think that's an excellent point. I think a lot
Yeah, using PCs was a lot more complicated. Is a lot more complicated. Like now, it's plug and play pretty much just as much as it is on Mac.
of times, if you know people who are using one platform or another, they're going to
That was Gingers Have Souls, right? I have to find out. Like, I'm not going to just jump in and defend the guy or rip him a new one if I don't know what happened. I have to know the context of why YouTube generally just doesn't delete channels without they're not like Twitch.
going to be able to help you out, provide you some hand-holding, teach you about the software.
Okay. Today we will help you pick a new computer, whether you decide on a Mac or a PC. Now, for many of you who already own
My first OS was DOS too. Remember typing in Doom to play Doom. I remember I remember on a 286. My dad's friend, the same guy who I talked about in the Sega Genesis video, he would come over with like floppies full of all these weird ass DOS games, and he would always bring new ones every single. It was pretty cool.
a desktop computer, your big decision is what kind of notebook computer to buy now. And to help you,
And seeing Doom Eternal run at 120 FPS on the Series S is so awesome. I know I was talking about this before, but I just can't get over it. It's just like that's a lot of performance for the dollar. To get that on PC, again, I know, like I was saying before, I'm not that stoned, is pretty incredible.
we're going to visit a CompUSA store with an expert to find out what's the best deal in a notebook computer.
Oh God, wait till you what was that? Wait till you hear these prices. Just wait. I remember
There's
this
so
part.
many notebook computers on the market. How do you determine what's the best one for you?
Man, that is that's not a that's a CRT. Oops, the one right next there in the center. I thought that was I'm like, damn, that's a thick laptop screen. Imagine carrying that thing around.
Owen Lenderholm, senior editor of PC World magazine, says choosing a 486 processor now may save you money in the long run.
Prices have dropped so fast on them.
Yeah, but especially back then because your shit became outdated much quicker than it does now. Like you could still have like a Sandy Bridge i7, and for gaming you're bottlenecked now. You probably could still game a decent amount, but you're bottlenecked now. But everything else you're doing, every single other thing you want to do on a computer, on that computer you need to do, not saying optimally, but you need to do, will run just fine on that. Even video editing won't be a nightmare on that thing. It won't be fluid, but you could do it if you need to. Back then, man, like having a computer for 2 years was like that thing was, it better be in the scrapyard at that point. It surprised me that in 2021, most people don't know how to use it. Well, you know why? Because older generations also have moved on to this, the smartphone, and younger generations are just using tablets and smartphones. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's get
All the time that you're best off deciding what you can afford now and buying the best notebook you can for that amount of money. That way it'll last a bit longer. If you shop at the low end, it just means it'll be obsolete all that much quicker.
Yeah, it'll be obsolete in like 6 months. I'm telling you, man, shit moved like at a lightning's pace back then. Now you buy a gaming still ages quicker, but if you're just buying a computer to even do like productivity, like even if I was still using my 2014 5960X, yes, I know there are even mobile chips that outperform it now that are 8 cores, but I'm just saying, I would still be able to do 4K video editing. I did on there all the time, no problem. Like, I wouldn't feel held back by that old computer. You know, so it's a much different time. Even gaming, that thing would be fine. It's a much different time where tech doesn't leap as fast, but back then it was like every year it was being revolutionized. Hey, Stampede, how about a poem? Once upon a time, I was a man who had 2 butt cheeks he put in a can. Then I fed my cheeks to a man named Dan. Then we went and took a plane ride to Japan. I'm out of coffee.
Screen displays range from monochrome at the low end.
That would be a thrill a minute. Just imagine. Look, again, the technology was more expensive, so that's how they, you know. So you really need a portable computer. And Ishes Smith, thank you very much for the super chat. You really need a portable computer. Here you go. You could use a portable computer, but you know, and I bet you that thing was still probably like $2,000. $2,000 at least.
Passive matrix color in the mid-range up to active matrix color.
Thinking of going back to school to get certified to be a medical biller with an associate's degree despite being in my 40s. No, why are you crazy for doing it, man? No, not at all. You stop living when you're dead.
The high end.
If you were 60, you wouldn't be too late.
They're really sharp and clear. You can see them from any angle. They're almost the same as looking at a regular desktop computer's monitor. They cost you about $1,000 extra, though.
Different models.
$1,000. Wait, hold on. I missed that.
At the low end, to passive matrix color in the mid-range, up to active matrix color at the high end.
And passive matrix was you rather go monochrome. Passive matrix was fucking garbage. Doing anything but like reading still text on it was unbearable. I remember that I am not exaggerating. Passive matrix was I mean, there were some displays that were better than others, and some were mildly but not really tolerable. But oh, they were so bad.
They're really sharp and clear. You can see them from any angle. They're almost the same as looking at a regular desktop computer's monitor. They cost you about $1,000 extra.
Oh my God.
Different models have different kinds of input devices. The most common is a trackball mouse that clips onto the side of the unit, but it's best to try several different ones to find out what's best for you.
God, I remember. These are all such 90s things that I remember, because people at my dad's offices, I would go visit his work, had shit like this.
Battery range is another important feature to consider.
Battery lives range from about 3 to 6 hours. You can typically expect to get what the lower end of what a manufacturer claims.
That's actually better than some like gaming laptops now, not Ultrabooks. Obviously, Ultrabooks can last for fucking ever.
So if they say 3 to 5 hours,
you get like 2 hours gaming out of a gaming laptop. You're a lucky fucking son of a bitch.
You can expect 3. If they say 4 to 6, you can expect 4. Don't count on any more than that, because
I think schools should focus on computer literacy when they're teaching kids ABCs and colors. They should also teach basic. Yeah, because now they're so necessary now, and they're always going to be. I wholeheartedly agree with that. Absolutely, man. Hey, Rich, finally have time to watch your streams again. Good to see you. My Opa passed away. I'm very sorry. From last week in the Netherlands. On the bright side, my family is now getting vaccinated. And they were against it before, is what you're saying? Not to if that's a silver lining that you get from him, very sorry to hear about your I believe that's your grandpa. So maybe that, look at it that way, as sad as that is.
Chances are you won't get it. If you need more than that, buy a spare battery, keep it charged up, and then just swap it in when the time comes.
What you want your
swap it in. Yeah, all those laptops you could swap in the you can't swap in shit with the new laptops. Even non-gaming laptops, all the batteries are soldered in now. Or let's put it this way, I hate taking apart laptops. I can do it without breaking it, but it's a fucking nightmare. Oh, you just got to disassemble your laptop to replace the battery. And batteries, man, I don't care what anyone says. You get 2 years max out of a battery, and even before the 2 years, they're losing a lot of like their total life capacity. It goes from like 100% to 80% at least. Oh, your dad even got vaxxed, and he was very anti-vax, huh? It sucks. Not to be a pessimist. It sucks, though, how something tragic has to happen for people to realize that maybe it isn't a hoax. You know what I mean? Yours has screws. Okay. But, sometimes taking the batteries out of now, they make it like you have to basically disassemble the whole fucking laptop.
Notebook.
Abby, this is the highest the volume goes. This is just how the video is. Take Carlos's shirt off. Dude, that was big. Dude, 2 gigabytes back then was fucking... That was like having a 4 terabyte SSD now. you know that was huge. I remember getting Quake. I know I always talk about this, but it's such a perfect example. I remember getting Quake, and I was so blown away that it was a 100 megabyte game. It's like, are they fucking kidding me? 100 megabytes? What are we going to do with all those bytes?
Computer to do should determine how much money you spend. Prices range from $1,000 to $5,000.
At the 1,000 end, we're talking a 386, 2 megabytes of RAM, 60 megabyte
Oh man, even back then that was low
hard
end.
drive. Pretty low end computer. Screen will be monochrome. You'll get a floppy drive. There's not much else, but you'll get in that. At the high end, a $5,000.
$5,000. And this is in 1993 money. Let's make that sink in for a second. Let me find an inflation calculator. Inflation calculator. So what would to 2021? Okay. So 1993. $5,000. That would feel like almost $9,500. $10,000 basically, and it was still vastly inferior to what a desktop at that price would have been back then.
Laptop, you're talking about one with an active matrix color screen.
Your 26-year-old cousin just died from COVID, and I'm very sorry to hear that. Most importantly, but this is so many of these deaths that are preventable. Imagine taking $5,000 and just buying Apple shares. Yeah, back then too. Yes, back then you'd be set for the rest of your fucking life. Now, actually, would you be 5,000 shares? Wonder what Apple shares were back then. And then anyway, let me put my shirt back on. So weird. I have my air conditioner off, and I'm so used to it. I actually don't need it on. It's not hot in here. I missed your super chat. Patrick Flanagan's side glance kind of give me the creeps. He looks like an excited with the Thomas the Tank Engine you're talking about. You missed it. I miss you. If that was my family being anti-vax until something I would have ripped them a new asshole and then not talk to them. But I guess that's human nature, man. I have, and not to go into detail, I have people I know personally that are like that. And it is quite infuriating. Apple was around 25 cents a share back in 1993. So I don't even know how to do the math for that because I'm stupid. Like, what would that be now? I thought I had a hair on my tongue. What the fuck would that even be now? If you had $5,000 worth of those shares, so you would have 4 shares. For every dollar, you would have 4. So what's 4 times 5,000 is 20,000. So if you had 20,000 shares of Apple right now, let's look. Let me find how Apple stock is at 148. You would maybe, all right, let's see, 5. Yeah, 20,000 times, what was it? 140, 148. You'd be a multimillionaire. You would be a multi-millionaire. You would be worth almost $3 million. HODL is a term. Rich, you think the i7 118836 mobile laptop with 16 is good enough to game with RTX and DLSS and 10? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. 110%. So if you had $5,000, that would have given you 20,000 shares. You have 20,000 shares. You, before taxes, so they would take about almost half of that. Welcome to, yeah, you would still have millions. You would have about 1.5 or 6 million left over. You'd be doing okay. And if you invested that smartly in safe stocks, you would be able to live off of passive income comfortably for the rest of your life if you were smart with your money. Sending you some love. Keep up the great content. And Carlos is the breast. Climate change is such a joke. Even the Antarctic sheets are cracking up. What if disasters like shock freeze from the day after tomorrow? But, you know, it's corrupt corporations wanting to make money off of legacy products like oil, and politicians that are corrupted by them because of, like, again, basically indirect bribes through lobbying. So they put out propaganda that tries to downplay climate change. So people, oh yeah, climate change isn't a big deal. I'll just keep my big gas truck. And look, I have a gasoline car now, but that's probably going to change with my next car. Lease is almost up soon. Dad might be buying a Tesla truck. Licking anus cures COVID. And I got the data captures. Yeah, oh yeah, splits. That's a good point. I don't even know how that would work, man. I'm not that smart. But it could be, would that make it even more? So if your shares split, oh God, then you may be, what are you looking at, like 15 million or something like that? Why the F are you not president? Because I'm just a man on the internet with a small dick and man tits. Rich, how much would you need to get a coffee with Ralph? If Ralph was still alive. 332 million. Wow. Probably about that much, mother. That didn't sound right, but it's true though. Like, dude, I don't know what that guy was. He kind of scared the shit out of me, man, because he never physically threatened me, but his determination was fucking creepy. And the biggest gift I ever got was by chance working at that psych center, and he was a patient. Because I would have never found him any other way. And Lord knows where that, all kidding aside, Lord knows where that would have went to. It's funny and weird as the story was, and it had a somewhat comical, happy ending. I don't know what that guy's MO was. He was a determined motherfucker too, man. Yeah, I know the Tesla truck, but that's what I'm going to have to get. You know, I would love if they made an electric Cadillac, I would get that, but I'll probably rock the Tesla. I'll lease a Tesla because I won't want to keep that thing more than 2 years anyway, because I hear the build quality sucks, and they're safe cars. They're fun cars. That's why I want to get it, because it's a 40-year-old dadmobile, but I won't look like a douche. I was thinking about the Cadillac, but that kind of would make me a hypocrite if I got a Cadillac. Oh, not. Yeah, I would. It would. So I'll get the Tesla. Tesla's about the same price. Wait, electric Cadillac? Stop it. No. There's an electric Cadillac. There's an E-Caddy. There's an Escalade. Electric Escalade. I got 3 kids, man. I need an Escalade size. Oh. How much that, dude? That must be like $250,000 though. You know how many batteries you would need to fucking run that thing? You know how many fucking batteries you would need? Yeah, but the thing about Tesla is that's why, like, as much as I'm not a huge fan of leasing, but I don't drive that much because my commute is going upstairs to my office. But I don't remember what the fuck I was going to say. Plot twist. Carlos is actually Ralph. You've been kissing Ralph all along. Also, Cyberjunk keeps bugging. It's still bugging out? But I'll lease a Tesla is what I was saying, because I'm only going to keep it till the warranty's up anyway. So, breaking news, anti-vaxxers drink piss straight from horse wieners because Sean Hannity said it protected against COVID. That's the thing, man. Why am I still small? Oh, yeah, we were watching this video, weren't we? Oops. You guys got me on a tirade there. I'm a little hoarse tonight, like a horse.
Green, really sharp and clear. A DX250 or a DX266 processor. Lots of memory, lots of hard drive space, maybe even as much as 200 megabytes. This is
Oh my God, 200 megabytes. Look at those bezels, man. They're as thick as my ass.
computer which should rival one on anybody's desktop.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Jonelle Patterson.
And again, this is as loud as I can make. Let me just check one other thing. Nah, it is as loud as I can make it.
If you're thinking about buying an IBM PC-compatible desktop computer, you have lots of decisions to make. Here to help you are Lisa Bio, author of this book, How to Use Your Computer, also with...
She looks like she'd be an evil villain in a 101 Dalmatians movie. She look like she'd be Cruella de Vil.
Over there, Wendy Taylor, senior editor with PC Computing and co-author of the...
Oh my God, that girl looks so 90s. You couldn't get more 1993 than that girl, like that hairstyle.
Streetwise Guide to PCs. This is your book over here, Lisa, How to Use Your Computer. Before you can get to use it, you've got to buy it. I want to ask you about buying it. Any kind of basic rule about buying a new PC?
Well, really,
I would love to get my hands on that book to see like the stupid shit that, like, I guarantee you like 95% of that book is not relevant now.
There's two issues to consider. There's what you're actually going to buy, and there's who you're going to buy it from.
Yeah.
I kind of want to start with the second. I think one of the most important things, especially for...
I think I sound like Julia Child. Woo!
For people who are buying their first PCs, is you don't want to prioritize price too much. I mean, price is important. What you're really looking for is a store that has a good reputation, and particularly a good reputation for service and support. You don't want the PC to break a week later and they don't remember your name.
Or even if you can't figure something out, you want to be able to call somebody and say, help, how do I do this?
That's right.
Okay, so price isn't everything.
Price is not
Okay,
everything.
what about what machine you should look for?
Holy shoulder pads, Batman. Those shoulder pads are like, look at those shoulder pads. Why was that a thing back then? Who thought how did shoulder pads become a thing? I don't get it. Like, where is that?
At this point, if I were buying a new PC, I would buy a 486.
That's a 486, not a 386.
That's right. If you're buying a used PC, you might consider a 386. But a new computer, I'd buy a 486.
Okay, what kind of 486? There's lots of different processors you can do.
It really depends on what you're trying to do. If all you're doing is word processing, an SX may be sufficient. If you're doing a lot of different applications at once and you're running Windows and you're using databases or graphics, you're probably going to want a DX or DX2.
Okay, so you go for a 486. How about the memory question?
I want to know how much these are. I guarantee you it's like $4,000 or $5,000.
RAM, 4, 8, 16. How do you know what you need and how much you should spend?
Again, it depends on what you're doing. If you're going to be using Windows, and almost all of us are going to have to be using Windows whether we want to or not, you're going to want at least 4 megabytes. Don't let them sell you a 2 megabyte machine for Windows. So that's your absolute minimum.
God, 2 megabytes.
And that would really be for basically word processing and not a lot more. If you're going to be doing database applications, for example, under Windows, you're really talking 8 megs at a minimum. 16's nice. 8 would be a minimum.
All right, let's take a look at an example. We have a PC compatible over here running Windows, and maybe you should move your mouse or whatever so we can get something up on the screen.
I went to tech college in the early 2000s. All my books are now expensive paperweights, useless books on Windows 2000 server. And yeah, that's the thing, man. Especially even during the early 2000s, it still was changing so fucking much. Her earrings look like gobs of spit. I didn't even see her earrings. This makes me want to watch LGR. It's just, yeah, well, this stuff is interesting, man. It's part of history.
Screen. Show me what happens if you don't have enough memory in your machine.
Well, let me just show you what we're running at the moment. We've got Paradox for Windows, which is a database
It'll run like slow as shit.
application. We've got WordPerfect, Solitaire, and Excel all happening at the same time.
Oh my goodness, man! You're bringing out the big guns here.
Managers up there, of course.
Right, we're all.
We got Solitaire. Hopefully, there's not a system. Hopefully, it doesn't blue screen.
They're all in
so
memory.
We're running 5 things here.
Right.
And what happens now? Now, this is an 8 meg machine, right?
This is an 8 meg machine, which is borderline for all this stuff at once, and especially for database stuff. So here we are, and I'm going to
so
open.
We're launch a file, and we wait.
And this is because it's a database application, and there's too little memory and too much going on. I mean, it would be the same issue in Access or other database applications.
Oh,
This
Jesus
really is
Christ.
very borderline.
Wait. Access.
And this is considered like borderline acceptable. We've come a long way.
And that's because not enough RAM.
That's right.
And dependent on the CPU also.
That's right.
All right, you've got 2 keyboards here. Let me ask you about this. A lot of people don't even think about touching the keyboard when they buy their PC, but that's pretty important, isn't it? That's what you touch.
You know, it's funny. It seems trivial.
Thank you, Stuart. That's what you touch. we got a Stuart Touch Chaffee over here. Wonder what would happen if you tried to run Cyberpunk 2077. Oh, it'd run at 120 FPS, man, no problem.
But it makes a really big difference in how happy you're going to be with it.
What would the difference be in these 2 keyboards you have here?
Well, a lot of the difference is touch and sound. So this is a more standard keyboard. It's
sort of softer touch,
it's
not a big click.
A little mushy and soft, and doesn't make a lot of noise. This is fairly standard now. This is more. This is a lot like the original IBM PC keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh, listen to that click.
To be noisier and a little stiffer, and it makes a click when you press the keys. The thing that's nice about that is you can really tell when the keys are pressed.
Yeah.
It's not a question
It's satisfying. You feel that satisfying click, that wonderful touch feeling.
in your mind. And people who are recently moving over from typewriters often like this feel.
Key is try out the keyboard. That's important.
That's right.
All
Try
well,
typing.
Yeah. Lastly, real quickly, what about the display? How much money should you spend? Do you need SVGA? Do you need a real classy display, a fast video card, and so on?
Again, it depends on what you're doing. I think Super VGA would be a good place to start. You want to see the monitor running your application. You don't want to see it displaying beautiful photographs. You want to see it.
Text.
That's right. You want to see it doing what you're going to be doing. If not exactly your program, then an equivalent.
Okay, Lisa, thank you very much. I'm going to go over here and
Yeah, I had myself. I thought I had a
And
booger.
Wendy, I guess if you're thinking about buying a new PC, even if you're upgrading to a new PC, you look at the ads in the paper, you look at the
you touch your keyboard to watch Prawn.
ads in the magazines. And I know you're interested in that field. Let's look at a couple typical ads in a magazine and tell me what the consumer should look out for. Let's take a look at this one over here. Big 2-page
She's like a journalist. She looks like she's 12, doesn't she?
ad with just tons of information. What should I learn from this?
There's almost too much information here. You really ought to have an idea of what you want before you go in. And check out the ad for the things that really aren't there often. Things like
What are, I wish you could see the
This
prices.
just lists a bunch of features, and it's really,
Exactly.
I don't really learn a lot from this, do I?
You do want to make sure that things that you want are included, however.
Uh-huh.
Very often a monitor isn't included in the price
Right.
listed.
All right, let's take a look at tab across to one of the other ones here. Okay, what about this ad?
In this case, again, look for things that aren't
2,000.
here.
What's in
Very
that bad
often,
boy?
Or look in the fine print. Very often it's teeming with hidden costs, things like shipping and handling that aren't listed here. You also get product awards for, very often, this is not for the product that appears here. It's actually something the company has won. So that doesn't mean this isn't legitimate at all. It
Right.
just means it's something you
Just
need to...
beware.
Yeah, they're not telling you that, like, oh yeah, we won awards, not for this computer, but we won we won awards. But it wasn't for the but we won them, so we're not lying to you, duh.
It's sort of like looking
Exactly.
for automobile ads, huh?
And then in
Okay,
this
one
case,
more ad on this multimedia PC ad.
this one is offers
Can you?
a lot of
I should
things
buy that
bundled
book
in
and
with
do a
the sheet.
video
Just
on
make
it.
sure
In
the
the
things that are
future,
bundled
I have
are
plenty of shit
what
to
you
do.
need.
So I get all these CDs, and maybe I don't really care. I don't need these
Exactly.
CDs, right?
And you might try to negotiate for other things instead too.
And how about the multimedia standard? It says MPC and MPC Plus and so on. What does that mean?
Again, know what you need in terms of multimedia, whether you need sound, whether you need video, because the standards are still being hammered out.
So,
Thoughts on Steam Link for smartphones? I don't know. I've never used it. I've never used it. Now, she still looks like... she looks really young.
nobody really knows. I'm going to say this is the standard. That's probably not true right now.
Exactly.
Okay, we're talking about multimedia PCs, and you have an example of a new multimedia PC one might have bought here with lots of goodies in it. Tell me what's in here, and how important is multimedia? That's the big
Her hairstyle reeks of 1993.
buzzword. And do people need to get a multimedia PC?
Well, it depends on whether you need your system to bark at you, I guess. But this one, for example, has a sound card in it. It's got speakers.
Right.
It's got a CD-ROM drive. It's also got a video MPEG playback board from Sigma Designs.
And what is that?
It plays back movies, 30 frames per second, full screen. It basically.
Oh my
turns it
goodness.
into
So
a
without
TV.
that board, you might not be able to. Show us an example. I mean, run a video for Windows Movie here, so we'll see what you're
She
talking about.
looks like
This is an
stop.
MPEG movie.
Can Doom run on that computer?
Dragon's Lair, the fantasy adventure where
Now, that's
you
pretty
become a
impressive
valiant
stuff. I
knight.
mean, that's full screen, moving video, good sound, etc.
Exactly.
Now, that's not automatically going to come with my PC because somebody
Not
says
at
it's
all.
multimedia.
Not at all. In fact, most multimedia PCs come with merely a sound card and a CD-ROM drive. Once you get into nice speakers that actually sound good, you're adding another $500 to the price, $100 to $500. Again, with the MPEG decompression board, you're adding, another $400 or $500. So total, it's another $1,000.
So think
that
about
you're
whether
talking-
that $1,000 is really going to be something you're going to use. If you're just playing games, it's probably not worth it. Huh?
Exactly.
Okay, this is your book, Streetwise Guide to PCs, and I know one of the things you're concerned about is the thing Lisa was talking about, service and support and warranty and so on. How important is that? Sometimes we think, well, PCs don't break. I don't really care about that stuff.
Oh, it's very important. For example, you really want to be sure when you buy a system, PCs are very reliable. So you want to make sure that it comes with at least a 1-year warranty, because if a manufacturer doesn't offer it, they're probably hiding something.
And if it's going to break soon, probably, is what
In
you're
the first
saying.
30 days, usually, yeah.
Okay, so what do you look for in the warranty?
Oh, I know what happened. I must have hit the button again. Sorry.
And, well, you want to
I'm
ask.
sorry.
This is a
I thought
warranty
you were
card,
talking
but
about
what
me
you really
just
wanna
staring
do
at the
is ask,
video.
Make sure that everything in the PC is covered by the warranty.
This stream's a
Very
mess
often-
tonight.
Motherboard or not just something else,
Exactly.
okay.
And you want to make sure that the dealer honors it directly. So you're not chasing down the company. You actually
You
can
go
bring
to
it
the
in.
dealer and
and-
they don't say mail it back to the manufacturer, wherever that manufacturer is.
Exactly.
Thank you, Wendy. For many computer shoppers, the easiest way to buy a new PC is by mail order, either directly from the manufacturer or through one of
He looks like he'd be like he'd be in a cologne commercial for some reason. I'm Stuart Chaffee, and you should smell my ass. Stuart Hole Chaffee.
one of the many mail order dealers.
You can buy a computer assembled to your specifications and loaded with your choice of software just by picking up the phone. Direct buying.
I am getting my hands on another. I have spoken to GPD. I am getting my hands on another handheld. They're updating it though, so I'm not going to get it until mid-September. But that is already confirmed. I just said firm. Oh, the camera's off. It's been off the whole time. Would DSP wish that happened? Oh, the camera was on. You saw me orgasming.
Houses like this one.
You didn't see him, or well, you saw his face. We saw him. That was the face of a man who was busting a nut.
PCs Complete carry a wide variety of brand name computers at lower than retail prices. Marty Jerome, senior editor of PC Computing, says you should think of a direct vendor's
You
advertisement
missed me talking
as
about
its
other super
storefront.
chats.
You should look for the fine print.
Well,
Almost
you
every
heard me talking.
Direct vendor will have some fine print in their ads. And this shouldn't deter.
That man has a colorful shirt. Also, did you see the Elder shit looks banger? If I'm as fuck, I'm beyond hyped for that game. 22 is looking good so far. Now I'll look at it. I was thinking of it because I saw the trailer come out, and I want to see more.
Per you in itself, all vendors have to have disclaimers. But things to look for that are unfair are restocking fees, which can be 15 to 20%.
20. I've only seen 15. 20% would make me lose my shit. I hate restocking fees. I mean, if I get it, I know why restocking fees exist, because say you just don't want the product and you bring it back, and it's a way to deter people from buying like laptops just if they need them for to work on a vacation and bring them back. And on top of it too, if you just don't want it anymore, you're screwing over the product because they're going to have to sell it at a loss or not sell it as much of a profit. But a lot of times they're just fucking shady. I have a 43-inch 4K 60 Hz HDMI 2. Am I good for you? Yeah, you're fine. So long as it has a low latency mode, you're good to go.
Clauses that say no money back, no refunds, all purchases are final. There's subtle language like this that can take you to the cleaners.
Many direct vendors offer
It looks like that man took his shirt to the cleaners.
complete service and technical support on everything they sell.
Tech support, Joel speaking. May I help you?
He looks like he's from a Tim and Eric ad. Tech support, my name is Joel. Can I help you? I don't want to help you.
Direct merchants often have highly knowledgeable sales reps, but before you make your deal, you should know exactly what you want in terms of components, power, and price.
Oh, man, those luscious beige. Boring brown and beige. Like my underwear after a year. Keep on washing them, man. They go from white to beige to a plain opaque color that's sad like my soul.
Computing publishes a spec watch to help you sort it all out.
We've listed all the
That off-white ass.
specs that you should look for and grill your salesperson about.
I want to look for where you found that shirt, pal. That shirt is just vibrant. It's just popping off the screen right now.
Before you buy. For example, many of us know that we want a 13 millisecond hard drive, but do you know that you want full height or half height, or that it needs to have self-parking heads and diagnostic software should be included, or that you shouldn't pay extra for the mounting rails? We've tried to list.
Yeah, self-parking heads were a luxury. So if you moved around that, if you didn't wait for the computer to actually park the head, or you did, actually, I think there was a command. Don't get me wrong. I think there was a command that you had to park the head in DOS. I could be wrong about that, though. We're going back to ancient fucking times. That head would just be like flubba, 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 scratching up the plate. Rest in peace, your data.
All these issues, including some red flags, things to watch out for, and that you can get charged extra for.
Never pay cash for a direct mail purchase.
I don't know you, but I really dislike RGB Gamer Boy PCs. Beige ATX tower and CRT all the... Well, I'd rather have a beige ATX tower than those bright light ones, but I like clean and modern looking, like clean lines, no lights.
Credit cards are safer. And if there's something wrong with your computer when it arrives, don't wait. Return it immediately for replacement or a refund.
The onus is on you to get satisfaction, and sometimes this...
The onus is on you to get satisfaction. The onus is on you to get satisfaction, Carlos. Look at how that man in the blue shirt's looking at you, Bird. He looks like he just pulled the fucking DSP. He looks like he just... Oh, this talk about these computers just gets me so hot. Oh. Bird, what's going on here? What is the man in the blue shirt doing, Bird? Let's press the space bar and let's see what else he has to say, this blue man Bird shirt.
Requires 2 or 3 phone calls in when there's a discrepancy in a bill or in a purchase. And as long as you're...
He looks like he has some inner rage, the way he talks. You gotta make sure you have some purpose. They better get this fucking computer deal right. I'm gonna rip apart this blue shirt. I like this blue. You like this blue shirt too. Don't fuck with my shirt.
Persistent, as long as you're tenacious, you can usually get set.
Are you tenacious, sir? You look tenacious.
Satisfaction.
For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Jonelle Patterson.
For Review Tech USA, I'm Rich Masucci. Modern, edgy music for 1993. Clinton was our president at this time.
Suppose you're
Here I am with 2 corny-looking men.
artist said on a new Macintosh computer. That choice can be confusing too. Here to help us out on the Mac side are Rick Myslewski, executive editor with Mac User Magazine.
That is Bill Gates. That is Bill Gates' uncle. That is Bill Gates. No, that's Bill Gates' cousin. What? That is Bill.
And also over there, Galen Grumman, who is senior associate.
Grumman's right. He's grooming that beard properly. He's trimming that facial pubes. Zzz.
Editor with Mac World Magazine. Let's start with you. We've got 6 Macintosh computers here. The good news is the price.
It's Will Gates. It's Will Gates. No. It's Phil Gates. Don't. It's Phil Gates. Phil Gates.
Coming down. The bad news is they keep on changing the names of the models, so we don't know what Mac is doing what. So kind of quickly run us through the whole Macintosh line here.
First of all, I want to say that you'd never see a lineup like this in a computer store again, because Apple has decided to break its line into 4 different...
Why is this? It's Rick. Is that a like? I don't know. Maybe that's how his name could be spelled, but it's just like, where's the C? Maybe he's one of the. Maybe that's like, I like to be edgy. Call me Rick.
different groups. It has the education line, the home line, the business line, and the mobile line. We have representatives of each here. There's a Performa here from the home line, an LC3 from the
I want to be Steve without an E.
education line, Over here we have some Centruses, now Quadras. You're right, they are changing the names, from the business line, as well as a Quadra also from the business line, and a PowerBook from the mobile line.
All right, let's take these one at a time. This is the low
He has a deep, commanding voice, though. I'm kind of jealous.
end here, the Performa now, right?
What is he? This man have blow? I don't know about any of that, but Bull, his name is Phil Gates, destroyer of ass.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
Those glasses are very well. They're just thin glass. You could get glasses like that now.
Right. Now, first of all, what's the price
The '80s glasses, like were they're the big, thick fucking frames, man.
range here, and what's the right?
I actually had those for like in the early '90s as my first set of glasses. I remember they were like beige, pinkish, weird.
End user here for this machine?
The right end user is someone who's buying their first computer or bringing a computer home and doesn't want to worry about it at all. Performa, you take it out of the box, there's a large set of instructions, you plug it in, the software is already installed, the modem software is all installed, plug it into your phone line, plug it into your keyboard, and you're off and running.
Computer for a dummy, turn it on, you don't have to know anything.
Not a thing.
And about how much would the Performa cost?
This is the high end of the Performa line, so this one's around $1,800.
CD-ROM drive, it's got all the...
Bates Gill, a Bill Gates doppelganger created by Steve Jobs to outsell Apple computers to potential. Yeah, he just goes around, hey, you should look at that Mac over here. You should look at this Windows computer.
CD-ROM, dual speed CD-ROM. It has
Whoa! Dual speed, double the speed.
microphone built in, as you see. It's around $1,800.
That was actually the speed of the CD-ROM drive inside the PlayStation 1. Dual speed, 2-speed.
You can get Performas way down there below
A
1,000.
good home computer
Excellent
and a
home
Macintosh.
computer.
All right, let's go to the LC3.
This is an interesting Mac here. It's the LC3 was once the most popular Mac involved, and it's
Even Mac was making those. Even Apple was making those beige computers back then, man.
an excellent business machine. Now it's transitioning into the education line. So it's sold only in university and school groups. However, if you ever find one used and you really want a good machine for yourself, pick up an LC3.
All right, when you say education, if I want to get one for my kid to use in school, is this a good machine then?
Excellent if they're in a university. If they're a child at home, you might want to look into a Performa.
Still a Performa. Okay, so these are the two lower end ones. Let's go over to the two Centras or now Quadras machines over there and tell us why I'd want those.
These are the standard run-of-the-mill Buicks or Chevys, shall we say, the business line.
This is your business computer.
This is your business
Okay.
computer. Unlike most machines that are in the Windows or DOS market, these have everything you need already on the motherboard, so your expansion is not really a
So
problem.
the networking's already inside. et
Networking's in
cetera.
there, sound.
That's kind of what my I had a Motorola Mac. There was literally a clone because before Steve Jobs they were letting companies clone them, and I had a Motorola that kind of looked like that on the left.
Sound is in there. The video is already in there. You're set.
So you don't have to worry about a lot of slots.
You plug in, you go.
Okay.
The 610 has one slot, a 7-inch NUBUS slot, so it's slightly limited in the amount of cards it can take. The 650
put
over
my
there
shirt back on.
has 3 NUBUS slots, so you can do quite a bit of expansion.
And slightly faster processor?
Slightly faster processor.
All right, and how about the biggie over here? We've got this big Quadra 840, and why would you want that one?
This is the 840 AV. Besides being the most powerful one currently, it's also the most versatile in that we have, as you can see, a microphone on top of the monitor and speakers at the bottom of the monitor. This is a true multimedia machine in that it'll understand what you're saying, perform your commands, read things back to you. You can
I'm gonna
hook your
kill
phone
this
up.
goddamn
Upcoming
bird.
Software is going to allow you to use this as an answering machine. You have a CD-ROM built in. You have lots of processor space. You have lots of RAM space. It's a machine for quite a few years.
Top of the end, how much money for this Quadra?
Top of the end, if you want a list price, around $4,000, but of course you can.
Oh
go
my
below that.
All right, lastly,
God.
a couple seconds left. Let's talk about the
$4,000.
good old PowerBook here, and everybody's running around with these.
Oh, look at the viewing angle on that screen. It has a viewing angle of right fucking in front. That's it.
What PowerBook is this one?
This particular one is a 270C, which is your active matrix 32,000 color Duo machine. It's
Yeah, it still looks like shit though. But that back then wasn't shit.
called a Duo because it has 2 lives, both a mobile machine and also in a Duo dock. Plug it in, it's your desktop machine with a full-scale monitor.
Top of the line PowerBook.
Top of the
and
line.
for about how much money?
We're saying these go out for about $3,000 now.
Jesus. And you have to remember that's like, again, 3,000 back then was what now? So 1993. No. 3,000, not 30,000, 3,000. That'd be over $5,600 now. What would $3,000 be back in, what was it, 1913? So if you had $3,000 in from 1913, what would that be worth now? That would be worth $82,000. If you had $3,000 in 1913, it would be worth $82,000. What about if I had $10,000? $10,000. 10,000. Done. That'd be worth over $275,000. Jesus Christ, man, money has inflated. We'd love to know the whole reasoning behind why that happened, so I understand it more. That's insane. That's crazy. Anyway, I'm totally off topic right now. I know that.
Now fully equipped.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much. I want to go over here and join Galen. Galen, the question I have for you
Galen, your beard is incredible. Please tell me how you trim it.
is, as we heard before in the PC segment, what kind of hardware you want or need really depends on what kind of software you're going to run. And give us some examples of the kind of applications that people should be thinking about, particularly in the business end.
Yeah, tell us what we should be thinking about.
Machines you have here.
For the business end, there's several programs everyone uses, and Microsoft.
Galen Grumman, professional man. Actually, they just had that as, instead of Macworld, they just had professional man. So what's your expertise? I'm a professional male.
Microsoft Word is one, Microsoft Excel is another, Quark Express and PageMaker sort of our
presentations, desktop publishing, database, word processor,
You've got
spreadsheet,
it.
the usual. All right, go through one at a time and show us what the demands on the hardware are of these applications.
Okay, I'll start with Microsoft Word, the standard word processing program. You have
That's what I want to be. I just want to. So what's your profession? I'm a professional man. What is it? I'm just a man. That's what I do. I'm a man on the internet. I'm a professional man.
You have graphics in your word processing. You have fonts in your word processing. It's not just like a typewriter.
So an important point is, even though this is a word processor,
Look at that. That's moving smooth as silk, huh? That's like not even a frame a second as he's scrolling that. That's like literally 0.5 frames a second to move text. What a time to be alive.
so it's not a text thing. You've got a lot of graphics to process. Still chew up a lot of power.
That's right. This fact sheet is a good example of that.
Sure.
Spreadsheets is another very popular application. Here's Microsoft Excel. This is the large database, and as you scroll through the database of lots of data.
You call that scrolling? I call that. Is it? I haven't. Let me check.
6,000 cells of data. You can see that even on a fast processor, it takes some time. And this is the kind of processor.
It's kind of
you
holding
want to
steady.
do a lot of data entry for
So if
budgets
you're doing big
or whatever.
spreadsheets,
I think it got higher.
You've got it.
What is the highest? It's
Databases. FileMaker Pro again is the standard on the Mac, and this one lets you put
close to
picture
its highs.
and even sound, although you don't do that very often, with your data. And again, that requires more
MCI. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. MCI.
processing power. Publishing is what the
Who was the? Who was the? There was a show that she did too. She was a big spokesperson for MCI back in the early 90s.
Mac is famous for, and there's two big programs here. Elvis PageMaker is one most people know about. Mac User is an example of a publication that does use it to produce its pages.
And again, very graphics intensive, so it's going to take a lot of computation power.
Extremely.
Well, Mac was the thing that I loved about Mac before they went Intel. Now they're going back to ARM, so it's kind of like they're going to have their own special sauce again. Was when they were PowerPC. When they were PowerPC, there was a noticeable difference. That was the thing that Steve Jobs pushed with like the G3 and G4 and G5. He would show comparisons between like the current competing Intel chip, and it would smoke it. You know, now, you know, it's really just about the software and the operating system. However, with them going back to, or them going to ARM, not back to ARM, going to ARM, excuse me, they may be back in that Lushes area, even though ARM isn't just Mac, but you get my point. Would I want to try an M1 Mac? I'm thinking about getting the... I would rather get the iPad Pro. I might pick I'm debating between getting myself one thing Lushes, either that or the Galaxy Fold Z. I'm not going to get a review unit, but I'll have to buy it. But that's, I don't know. They're both a lot of coin.
The other one similar is Quark Express, which Macworld uses in addition to PageMaker, and it too is very resource intensive because it does a lot of things.
Now you will hear people say, well, these will run on any Mac. Is that true?
It is true,
Not
but
really.
you wouldn't want to run them on any Mac. On a Performa or
It would suffer on any Mac. It would suffer. Don't say it would run. It would suffer. Let me look how something else is doing too. It's doing shitty is what else is new.
an LC3, they'll work okay.
But
However,
slow and sluggish.
Slow, sluggish. You won't have enough memory. You're wasting your time. Your time is worth something. So spend $500 more.
Yeah, I want the one with the mini LED screen because I want to watch HDR content on it too.
And get a business machine like a Quadra 610 or 650.
All right, now these 5 application examples you were showing us before, I mean, these are high-end applications, Word, Excel, PageMaker, Quark, etc. There are smaller versions. I mean, just because I want to do word processing or a spreadsheet or a database doesn't mean I need this much power, does
That's
it?
right.
It's funny how, like, who thinks of spreadsheets and databases as, like, the intensive stuff now? You know what I mean? It's just so weird how times have changed.
You can get things like Right Now, which is a very good word processor that is works fine on a Performer or an LC. You can get Works programs. Several companies have Works programs, which let you do database and spreadsheet stuff. You know, it's half the price. Why spend the money if you don't need it? If you do need it, though, you want the software. And
I don't need a MacBook Pro, man. I want a device that's like a tablet so I could use it in bed and stuff like that. I don't want to. I already have a laptop. I have the Razer, and it's beautiful.
It's hardware.
So the issue is how serious am I about these applications? Not if I want to use a spreadsheet or if I want to use
That's
a
right.
database, but is it for business? Is it heavy stuff? Is it the kind of stuff I'm going to be doing all day long?
If you're spending several hours a day on it, you probably want to get what's the
He's a professional man.
best, most powerful, and the best for you.
So bottom line, what we've heard all day long is to decide if you want to.
I'm going to do a skit with intro guy on that. I'm going to leave him that right now. Hold on. This is important, okay? I'm letting my audience know when you come back and visit here, which I'm sure is probably relatively soon. We're doing a skit where I'm going to interview you and ask you questions about, because your profession is going to be, you're a professional man. And on the screen, when we show your name, we're going to show you as professional man. And I'm going to interview you about your manliness.
If you want to decide what hardware to buy, you've got to decide what software you're going to use and what hardware do you need to support.
That's right. I also say,
What's
get a
up,
little more than you think
Jonathan?
You might need because you're going to grow.
Good
So
point.
buy now and benefit later.
All right, thank you, Gail. And that's our guide to buying a new computer. Stay tuned now for this week's computer news on Random Access.
Computer news. Bip.
In the Random Access file.
Holy shoulder pads. Never understood mullets, and I never understood shoulder pads. I don't understand how that was, in fact, how either of those were fashionable. And this was like at the dying end of it, because like the 93, like shoulder pads were a big thing in the 80s. This was still like the 80s, like its last gasping breath.
This week, ISA plug-and-play technology picked up strong industry support at Fall Comdex, where 19 prototypes were on display. ISA plug-and-play is designed to make it easier for users to plug cards into desktops and notebooks. Computer Chronicles will bring you a full half-hour report on Fall Comdex next week. Microsoft Works version 3.0 has hit the market. The integrated software package includes a word processor, database manager, a telecommunications program, OLE technology, and more than 100 new features and enhancements.
She's a professional woman.
Windows programmers
Like, I don't understand, like, who thought that was...
may be interested in the latest offering from Omega Systems. Versions lets programmers keep track of all current and past project resources, including source code, documentation, and other files. Version sells for $99. One copy is required for each workstation on a network. Micro Express has introduced its first active matrix color notebook
Holy shit.
PC called the NB8266. It features a 486DX2 microprocessor, 200
How
megabyte
much?
fast
How much?
hard disk, and PCM
How many RPMs was that? I think like 4,200?
MCIA expansion slot. The new Compton's interactive
How much was it? You didn't say the price, Miss Shoulderpads.
encyclopedia will be the first electronic encyclopedia to feature full-screen, full-motion, picture-quality video. World War II footage
Oh God, that hair and the shoulder. It's like any more 90s. It would just like
and NASA space
da 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 da.
shuttle video are featured. The CD-ROM will be bundled with a Sigma Designs upgrade kit, which includes an MPEG decompression board for video playback.
Only $1,000 extra to play video on your computer. Holy shit,
You
man.
can change the course of history with the Gettysburg for Windows interactive battle simulation program. Users may assume the role of General Robert E. Lee or other famous Civil War participants
See how
to
my other
direct
channel's
marches
doing.
and issue orders. Gettysburg for Windows
She keeps on choking. You notice that? She keeps on choking. Oh, man.
contains historically accurate information, photos, and documents. It sells for $49.95. You can track your family tree on your PC with the new Family Tree Maker for Windows from Banner Blue Software. There's
This software is about as exciting as a wet fart.
room for up to 1 million relatives per family file. Users can customize the layout of their family tree printout or add photos and descriptions of each family member.
It's just weird how stuff that's considered so fucking basic now, you know what I mean? Back then was like, you could look at photos. You could watch video. Like that when it was. Like I remember that was the exciting thing about the Sega CD when I got it Christmas of 92 was like Night Trap was mind-blowing. It sucked. It had barely zero fucking gameplay, but the fact that your video game console was playing moving video and playing CD quality audio was amazing. Did it hold up and did it make the Sega CD successful? No, because people realized quickly that these games suck horse dick. But yes, it was exciting shit.
Families and friends will have access to free video conferencing services during the Christmas holiday week, courtesy of Management Recruiters International. 80 sites around the country will be available for the free holiday video visits. To reserve your space, call MRI at 1-800-875-4000. And if you're looking for a gift for that hacker with a sense of humor, how about the first advanced, state-of-the-art, high-performance, totally integrated, revolutionary, leading-edge, high-tech joke book.
This sounds like the most useless piece of fucking software ever created. She doesn't her shoulder pads don't even want to talk about this.
The 210-page book contains jokes about computers, software, science, and mathematics.
Oh, sign me up for that. Nothing like canned jokes in a fucking CD-ROM. Pre-ordering now.
The little book with the long title sells for $14.95.
And it's an absolute fucking ripoff, even if it was free. Whenever someone's telling you a book of jokes, 99.9% of the time, they are the opposite of funny.
That's it for this week's Computer Chronicles. I'm Janelle Stelson.
Home piece. Look, oh no, look at his glasses. Look at his glasses. Oh, we'll watch this too. Let's watch this. This is kind of soothing. Shh. Oh.
Yes, this is an IBM computer, but no, this is not your typical downtown computer store. This is a...
You're not the typical man either, Stuart, so you fit perfectly like a glove.
Sears store in a suburban shopping center with sewing machines over there and furniture over there and an IBM PS1 computer over here. With the
Well, thank you. Where is the bathroom, Stuart? Could you tell me where that is? Where are the urinals? The urinals are right over here. My comb over is right here. And my ass is in my pants. Is your name Phil? No, but his is. Well, you could tell Philip to fill up my ass.
The business market's saturated. The big boys are trying to resurrect the once dead home computer market. Will it work? Well, we'll find out today as we take a look at the rebirth of the home computer on this edition of the Computer Chronicles.
Developers. Yeah, this is like the Sega Genesis was just coming out. The SNES was still like a rumor. Not a rumor, but it wasn't out yet. You know, you had basic internet connectivity.
The Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by the Software Publishers Association.
Oh my God, they would have lost their shit. I wonder where we would be if we had the tech now back then. Probably dead because we would have had a world war. We're already killing ourselves with tech. Now we can't handle Twitter. Imagine we had like fully fledged AI right now. It would literally be like the Terminator. Let's just keep her. We want to be hopeful that it's not a big deal AI, but it is a big fucking deal.
Which reminds you, it's a...
Oh, Rich, we'll just design the AI so it isn't harmful. And you don't think that's going to get into someone's hands with nefarious purposes, who's corrupted, who's going to make the AI work to their whim so they could accrue power? Come on. It's only a matter of motherfucking time.
Federal offense to copy software. The SBA provides information on how to stay software legal. Funding is also provided.
Yeah, I want to make sure I stay software legal.
Provided by PC Connection and Mac Connection, and by Byte Magazine.
Bite my ass.
And Bix.
Bix my ass.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee.
Man, that is a symmetrical... that is like the most perfect comb over I've ever seen. That is... I can't get over his comb over, man. Like, that could deflect armor-piercing rounds. Like...
And with me this week is Seymour Mern, publisher of the Channel Marker Industry Newsletter.
So he's just going natural Seymour Burns. Whatever the fuck his name is. Seymour Burns. The AI robot sounds like the beginning of Skynet. Yes, it does. Once upon a time, not long ago.
And Seymour, you probably recognize all this stuff here. The original...
Seymour wants to see more ass. Man, that is one... That looks like something from the early 80s.
Radio Shack Model 1 from about 12 years ago.
No, never mind. It was from... This is 1990. That's 78.
I guess a home computer. And then, of course, we know about the PC Junior, a kind of failed home computer, which came out about 8 years ago. All of a sudden, again, in 1990, everybody's talking about the...
That's a pray over. Dude, it is perfect, man. There's not a hair out of sync in that. Whoever... I want to know who's... Maybe if I could get a comb over looking that good, I may have a comb over. Like, Review Comb Overs USA. Imagine I had a channel where I just reviewed men's comb overs. That would make for a good skit video. With Intro Guy. He'll be the professional man. Intro Guy is going to be the professional man. We're going to have like the 80s layover, where it has like the font from the 80s. So, Matt, you're a professional man. We're about to look at some comb overs. You understand comb overs, correct? So, here we have this gentleman here, comb over number 1. What do you think of that comb over? Go fuck yourself. Yeah, it does. It does, Patrick. Sometimes I imagine the pissoning saying, developers, Larson, developers. Dude, oh, man.
The home computer market. Is there really a home?
He's still tweeting out shit, like, from trolls about me. The hurt in that man's ass is incredible. Dude, just keep it to fucking YouTube, man, and maybe,
Home computer market.
Oh, the home computer market is a healthy, thriving market. There are somewhere between 17 and 24.
He's just like asking, and it isn't by me. I didn't flag any of his shit, or I didn't even report him on Twitter. Swear on my kids, I haven't quartering. But you keep doing the shit you're doing, bro. You're just asking for your channel to be shut down. And don't you dare fucking cry. Don't you fucking cry and say that you're being silenced. You're not being silenced. You're being a fucking psycho, bro. You ain't being silenced. So when it happens, which eventually it will, and it won't be by my hands. Won't be. You could just stay in your lane. I'll say that, but I know you can't help yourself. You're going to do and say something stupid to someone else who actually is going to actually come after your shit. And then, oh my God, they ain't censoring you. You're a fucking freak. He's putting up personal and putting up dating profiles and all that shit. Come on, dude. Keep it to fucking YouTube. But you can't because you have this ego shit going on. I don't know. I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm just, again, a man on the internet. And the reason your name is brought up is because it's brought up here. And I ain't bringing it, anyway. Instant regret.
1 million computers in the home. I think what we're talking about now is trying to get at some of those people who don't have a computer in the home. And these people need very different types of computers. Those that are already in the home and those people bringing business from home want a full function, bigger machine that does everything. These new machines...
I wonder if this guy's still alive. He looks like he has to be almost 70 here.
As we will see, all have...
I know Stuart Chaffee's still alive.
...the ability to have a very simple interface for the new user.
What's up, Illmatic Tony?
Does simple function.
Is an 11 Pro Max okay to start? Yeah. Dude, you could get a lapel mic for that thing and people won't... Do you know... Dude, most of the B-roll I do in my videos, people don't even know I'm using it. I remember someone was talking shit on Twitter to the point where they were spamming, so I blocked them or muted them. And like, oh, you're recording a television review with your phone? I'm like, I guess you must have one of those $20 Android phones, because in case you haven't noticed, premium smartphone, even mid-range smartphones, record fucking awesome video and take fucking awesome pictures. I mean, obviously, if I was like doing it like big, like MKB HD, I would be rocking the same stuff they are, or at least have like a Panasonic Lumix GH5, which actually I do have right here. It just never moves from here because I do videos every day. I Hadouken videos every day. But yeah, 11 Pro Max, the image stabilization is beautiful, man. Even the built-in audio is fairly decent, but I would still, just get like a lapel mic. Or get a wireless lapel mic if you want to spend a little more money. And you'll be good. Comb over. My jaw's hitting the ground.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
Around the house and know they're not full function, but they sure are nice and exquisite.
All right, today we'll take a look at several of the new entries in this new home computer marketplace. We'll get to see the new IBM PS1, the Tandy 1000 TL2, the Magnavox Head Start 300.
Whoa, the Magnavox. That's in the... This is when Magnavox was still Magnavox. This was kind of sort of getting towards the end, if I remember correctly, off the top of my dome.
New low-cost Macintosh computers from Apple. Now, one of the problems with the home computer market is that maybe home is not a very good adjective for describing it. We're going to begin with a visit to the computer consulting firm DataQuest to find out how they're defining this new computer market.
Personal computer makers are gambling once again that American consumers would like to add a PC to their list of electronic home appliances. But this time around, the industry is hoping to avoid the mistakes of 5 years ago when they also tried to establish the home computer market.
The expectation of the consumer was...
Yeah, it's so weird that it was like fledgling. Now you couldn't imagine having a non-computing device, at least. I mean, desktop computers in homes. There's probably a shit ton of homes without a desktop computer in 2021 because a lot of people, their main, 95% of people, I should say, not a lot of people, their main computing device is right here. But this was a different time where you didn't have your phone be your everything, and they were still trying to figure out what was the... There was a lot of people who just didn't get the utility of having a computer yet.
All of these fantastic things that he could do with the computer. He was told he could do his banking, he could do his grocery shopping, he could do all of these things. And in reality, the systems just weren't in place for that to be able to happen.
Yeah, you didn't have internet. You would just have or if you had they were basically trying to do what people are now started really doing in the late 90s, early 2000s. So they were making promises that you really weren't doing yet.
I think the
She's cute. She's old now. She's probably like, what is it, 1990? So this is 31 years ago, son. Jesus Christ. Someone born in 1990 is 31 years old.
hardware wasn't available, the networks weren't available, the expense was too great.
This time around, the computer manufacturers seem to have done a better job on their homework. According to DataQuest, there is a resurging home computer market because more people are using.
Do you think the age of the family computer in the corner living room over with phones? Yeah, it's been dead. That's been dead since like the late 2000s.
Using computers at work and then bringing their work home. That has led to more computer literate consumers and more of a need for a home computer. DataQuest analysts say price ranks as the top consideration for buyers considering a home computer.
The only people rocking desktop computers now are like professionals who do video editing and stuff or gamers. Hate the term gamers, I always will, but gaming.
But they say users all.
But the average person, like, hey, I need to go send an email from my computer. No, those days have been dead. I'm sure there's still the grandma and grandpa doing that, but.
Also want a machine that can run business-type programs like a word processor and a spreadsheet, in addition to playing games and offering educational opportunities for their children.
Educate my ass.
The new home computers on the market all seem ready to meet the buyer's expectations, and DataQuest predicts that some $10 billion worth of home computers will be sold this year. That would represent an annual growth rate in the home computer market.
God, it's 1990. I remember when we went from it was New Year's Eve 1989 going into 90, and like, God, we're in the 90s now. It's the future. And you look back at it and no, man, it was so long ago. All that technology in that room is completely obsolete now. Everything there is just, it was a different time. We were in a different universe, man.
Of 25%.
I think the key to their success is going to be very definitely providing what the consumer is looking for, whether that's ease of use, whether that's price, whether that's performance, whether that's compatibility with what they're using in some other aspect of their lives. But I think it's primarily listening to the consumer.
For the Computer Chronicle.
Prodigy, I remember Prodigy with all the commercials back then. You could go on there and there's a thesaurus. Oh, whoopee. You know, it's kind of like, oh, what's this stupid thing you do on computers? Now, looking back, that was the beginning of what we have now. The internet is, whether you realize it or not, is like a big part of everyone's life. And it's kind of changed our social dynamic. It's changed our political dynamic. It's changed our lives in many, many ways. It's made a bunch of businesses become relevant and a bunch of businesses become irrelevant. Like no one was making YouTube videos back. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no Amazon back then. No one was making a living doing YouTube back then. It was a different time. You know, and that was the beginning. You know, you kind of I remember being a kid and brushing off Prodigy, like who gave a shit, but that was the start of everything that is now. It was the primordial soup.
I'm Kate McGargy.
I use a printer. Sometimes you still have to print documents from time to time. I have a laser printer right behind me. Oh yeah, this is way before DirectX.
The talk of the new home computer market really started this past summer when IBM introduced the PS1. Here to show us what it can do is Skip Gladfelder, marketing manager with IBM. Seymour?
Skip.
And it's just so weird, like to me, like to look at the 90s and see how aged and ancient it looks. Well, it makes me feel ancient. But like, I remember just the 90s feeling so fresh and new. And looking at nothing here looks fresh and new. It looks so dated.
After the big debacle, so to speak.
Debacle? What is this, man?
The PCG.
Seymour, you mean debacle, not debacle? What the fuck is a debacle? Is that like a new term for testicle? After the new testicle, IBM PS1 that can't even run Wolfenstein 3D. Oh, yeah, man.
PC Junior. Why does IBM think it's going to be successful?
Oh, but the PC Junior was a flop, if I remember correctly. I was a flop as well.
The PS1.
I was a flip and a drip.
Seymour, we've really done our homework on this computer, the PS.
Seymour, my name is Skip, and I want to see more ass. Wait, no. His name is Skip Gladfelter. Motherfucker. I'm glad I felt her. Come on. That is a porn name. This man is a porn man. If he had a porn stash, he like that early 90s porn stash, his name is Gladfelter. And it's real. It is real. That is a screen cap worthy. I am screen cap. I can't fucking screen cap it. God damn it. Am I really going to have to boomer this and take a picture? Son of a bitch. I was almost 9. I was 9 in 1990. Let me look here. I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to do it. God damn it. Fucking Skip Gladfelter. My print screen button is broken on this. Where the fuck is it actually? Or is it not broken on here? No, it isn't broken on here. But where the fuck is it? I don't even know where print screen is on this Logitech keyboard because it's not like a normal keyboard. Whatever.
We've talked to almost 3,000 families who were just purchasing a computer or were in the process of shopping for one. And they gave us a shopping list of things they wanted. And so we took our shopping cart and ran it through IBM.
He's a professional, man. Gladfelter.
Yeah, they wanted
Gladfelter. You can't make this shit up.
Computer that's powerful enough to run all the latest software.
Windows key Shift S. Ah. Yes, we are. Hold on. Captain Debical over there. Windows key, what is it again? Windows plus. Windows key Shift S. Aha! I don't want to snip. I want to... Did I do it? Let me go to... Man, I'm really boomering it right now. I just always hit print screen. That's why I don't think about it. Let me go to Paint. Yes. There we go. I got it. I got it. Open up. Yes, I have it. I'll do it later, though. I got it. Thank you. Vegan. I would eat vegan lasagna. I try it. I've had it once. He's like the Clark Kent of porn. Take off the glasses and he's good to go. Gladfelter cream. Dude, Gladfelter. His name is Gladfelter. This is incredible.
We've talked to almost 3,000 families who were just purchasing a computer or were in the process of...
You had the IBM PS1. How much was it? Do you remember?
Shopping for one. And they gave us a shopping list of things they wanted. And so we took our shopping cart and ran it through IBM. They wanted a computer.
And I know that seems super boomer, which fine, you could think that. I am a fucking boomer in internet terminology. But I always just use print screen, and it just works. Like Todd Howard.
Computer that's powerful enough to run all the latest software, but simple enough for everybody in the family to use.
No, I did not fart.
Expandable.
I always proudly
proclaim
proclaim my farts.
And when it breaks, they want the manufacturer to give them support. So we set out with kind of that shopping list to go through. And what we've done is included the PS1 and all-in-one.
And it's funny, unless it's a gaming desktop, these like the basic run-of-the-mill just, oh, go check my email desktops are so disposable now. It's kind of like drag select capture. Okay, try Windows key Shift S. Well, I got it though. And then I could just copy it. Oh, yeah, you could do the snippets. I've done the snippets before. I have done that.
One box. It fits in most automobile trunks, so when you buy it, you can take it all home. It includes a...
Oh, well, thank God. It fits in most automobile trunks. What a time to be alive again.
VGA display.
Captain Debical over there is looking concerned at the screen. Gladfelter. Oh my God.
Unit, a full-fledged 101 key keyboard.
No, I did not see that, Kyle. I did not see that. I saw him like nod off at one of his press conferences, though. Base model IBM PS1s were $1,000 in 1990. Yep. That was a few thousand today. Man, 1990 was the heyday. Yeah, everything was about IBM back then. Now IBM's not even in the retail market at all. They sold off Lenovo. They're not making, I don't even think they're making server. They're just basically a consulting, or they're just doing like, they're in the business of selling services, which is the most profitable.
Mouse and a 2400 baud modem from a hardware standpoint. And
2800 baud. For anyone who remembers like 56K being slow as shit, that was like the fastest like modem that most people had on dial-up before we went over to high-speed internet, and that was dog shit. 2800, not 56,000, 2800 baud. Oh, even text would probably took a while to download on that shit.
And then all of the software, which I'm going to show you, is already preloaded on the hard file.
The hard file? Mr. Felter, Gladfelter, Skip Gladfelter, what is the hard file? You mean hard drive?
When you turn the system on, it all comes up and
the hard file is fully loaded and ready to go, ladies and gentlemen.
you see this 4-quadrant screen in front of
Skip,
you.
run us through the interface.
Yeah, Skip, shut the fuck up. You're going on too long. He did it again. Hey, yeah, Skip, shut your fucking mouth and just get to the point.
Certainly for a new user, that's the key issue in figuring out how to use this.
Show us your hard file, Skip.
Okay, well, first of all, it's mouse and keyboard usable, but it starts really from the simple to the complex. It starts with information.
I was born in '96, yet, so I don't remember how much it was, but we had it until it died, and that's when my dad bought a Dell and we had Net Zero. Good old Net Zero. I think that was the last dial-up service that we had before we went high speed. Yeah. Because I remember my dad way back in the day was like, yeah, you just see ads in the corner of the screen, and it's dial-up and it's free. You just have the ads. Okay. And then, yeah, this sucks. Let's go over to high speed. I was born, so she likes my hard file, if you know what I mean. So you file her nails? Patrick?
Goes to Microsoft Works, adding your software, and then to the more technical.
Oh, wait, this was their operating system, right? PS2? The computer was the PS1, but that was their operating. I don't remember what the fuck they're operating. This is when they were really trying to, and they lost this war too.
Let me just click on information here. When you click on information, it gives you access to the two built.
Fun fact: IBM actually sold computers to the Nazis, so the Nazis could keep track of the prisoners, people that were in the different camps. And they would print out numbers and everything. That was all IBM computers. American company helping out the Nazis kill people. Let that sink in. That's true. Go look it up.
10 lessons, the systems tutorial, and the works tutorial. And it also gives you the Users Club and Prodigy. Now, the Users Club is in there. It runs under Prodigy to give you answers to questions if you get stuck. For just a second here, I'll take you into the systems tutorial. A beginning computer
OS2
user would go through this tutorial. It takes about an hour to go through.
Now, Skip, is this designed, you think, so a person could work this and never have to read a manual? Is that the
Absolutely, absolutely. Our experience is that over half of the people don't, even the novices.
That's not a good number, Skip. Today, the mouth-breathing idiots that use all the technology today, they probably are putting up the stupid conspiracy theories on the internet that are going to drive us apart. And then you have the smart, evil people who are grifting off of those conspiracy theories, making a ton of money. If you sat them in front of one of these computers now, if you sat a Karen down in one of these, she would have a nervous breakdown trying even to turn the fucking thing on.
Just don't even look at the material in the box. Our instruction manual is only 14 pages long.
So this is really long.
Anti-vax Karen would lose her shit in front of one of these things.
Online manual.
It's an online manual, that's right. So it gives you an introduction to computers, the hardware, the software, systems care, and even an index of phrases. Just to give you an idea of how in the hardware section, teaches you how to use.
God, that is such a. It looks like a child made this OS, but this back then was a big deal, man.
Use a mouse, how to use the keyboard, and how you translate typewriter.
How do I wipe my ass? Is that there? Is there a tutorial on that?
Talk to computer talk. The display, the systems unit, and the options.
Should I use a wet wipe and finger my hole, Skip?
Under options, it actually takes you through how you can grow the system when you get it home.
Are you going to grow the system, Skip?
For example, you can grow
Which system are you talking about, sir?
the system by putting the audio joystick package, which even hooks to MIDI instruments, which is very
and
popular.
all of this you can buy through Prodigy without ever leaving the computer keyboard, right?
And you can buy it in all the retail stores. You can expand.
Yeah, you're not doing that on Prodigy. Skip is getting pissed. Skip just shut down Stewart. Not Stewart, whatever the fuck his name is. He shut him down, that Mr. Debical.
The memory, it's just like a credit card. Just plug it right in the front of the product. Of course, additional floppy disk.
Guy sounds like Tim Cook. Not really.
And
I'm really excited.
And hard file. 5 1/4 inch diskette drives are also available for it. And last, you can.
Those are the actual floppies. They actually had bigger ones than that too, but the 5 1/4s, 3 1/2s were not floppy. They were pretty stiff. But the 5 1/4s, dude, flubba. In 1994, I met a Hawaiian girl, went on a family trip thanks to Prodigy. It's when the internet was innocent. Yeah, it was a much different time, man. Oh, God, dude. Like, in 1996, like, just the fact that you could download a single titty and look at it was mind-blowing. Now it's like you could get the 4K HDR Dolby Vision porn.
Slice underneath.
Which I'll never understand. Like, anyway.
The computer. It's like a stereo system where you can put an expansion chassis and put standard AT cards.
Skip, I don't want to run out of time. Let's get back to your.
Yeah, we're running out of time. Shut the fuck up, Skip. God damn it. Run in your fucking mouth. That's what Stewart's really saying. Yeah, we're running out of time. My comb-over can't have any of this.
Basic opening menu there, and briefly show us what those other options are.
Now, of course, next is Microsoft Works, the most popular integrated software package. Word processor, spreadsheet, database, and communications. Works 2.0, yeah. And then down here under your software, this was a section that they asked specifically for. They don't.
This looks like the kind of software you'd see on like one of those jitterbug phones now. Like if like you were getting a smartphone from Jitterbug for grandma, this was information, documents, phone numbers, and for grandpa, porn.
Understand directories and subdirectories. They don't understand executable and unexecutable files.
Who does?
Yeah. So when you click on your software, it gives you around the screen all the choices you need to start the different kinds of software. There's the DOS prompt, there's the C, there's the A, there's the C slate. And once you load a new piece of software, it makes a folder for it and shows you what you can execute out of it. As a matter of fact, there's some photos in here that really show off the VGA display. This display, we've trademarked the name.
Whoa!
Name on this display, the IBM photographic display. It's just spectacular.
Yeah. What about that last window now? We're going to have to wrap up the fourth.
Stewart wants to bring this home. Stewart is losing his mind.
Fourth basic choice that the user has when he opens it.
Hold back your anger, Stewart. I can sense it.
Up here.
Fourth basic choice is DOS 4.01R, and this shows you the DOS shell. It's all in plain English, regular computer.
An IBM software error deleted the entirety of Toy Story 2. That film was 90% finished and it disappeared. Only reason we got the movie was the DVD backup. No fucking way. Are you serious?
Computer English, and you can even come in here and customize how your system starts.
That would have been one costly software error. Holy shit.
And we've even shipped basic programming language.
Skip, real
for the
quick, what's the
children.
price point here? What are we talking about?
Skip, shut the fuck up. What's the price of all this? We're tired of your features.
Somebody wants to buy a PS1.
$999 to $1999. The most popular model, about 70% of the people are buying the $1999
Which is what you're
model,
showing us
which is
here.
a color hard file.
Basically, Skip's saying, are you broke? You can't flex with us, huh? Buying that $999
All right.
Skip's not having it.
Thanks very much. Well, one of the most successful home computers of all time was certainly the old Commodore 64. It came out back in 1982, and there are still millions of them.
And the funny thing to think about, that was only 8 years old. That was basically, now we don't really think about it being a big deal, but that's basically the console generation when the PS4 and Xbox One came out to now. That's 1982 to 1990 back then. Think about that. That's all it is 8 years. It's not, it sounds like, oh my God, it was 1982. That was only 8 years ago, man. Back then. It's nuts.
Loyal C64 users. We have a report.
A Toys R Us store is a mecca for children, a place to buy games and toys. But there are more than just toys here.
But the reason it felt much longer back then, well, that's just how time is when you're a kid, but the technology was taking such big leaps in such short periods of time that it felt like ancient history, even though it really kind of wasn't.
Tucked away in one of the aisles is the computer department and the good old Commodore 64. This granddaddy of home computers has withstood the test of time. Since its introduction in 1982, it has sold over 10.
And man, they milked that thing. They were pushing games. They had Street Fighter. They had an official port of Street Fighter 2 for the Commodore 64. It looked like toilet paper after you wiped your ass.
Million units. That makes the C64 still the computer with the largest installed user base. Scott Lytle owns a Commodore 64, and he says there is a good reason why the C64
Did have good sound for its time.
has survived as the most popular home computer.
I think because it's a fairly easy computer to use. You don't need to know.
Remember Commodore Keen? That game was so hard. No, I don't remember that.
MS-DOS.
Was that by id Software?
Just like IBM.
I never owned a C64.
You do.
Commander Keen, Commodore Keen. Oh my God, Commander Keen. I've never played that. That I know for a fact I've never played.
And it's just an overall user-friendly computer.
That man has an incredible unibrow. There is no separate. He has, as a matter of fact, like it gets more pronounced right here. Have you ever, Scott? Have you ever decided to trim that unibrow? Especially because, like, if he just got rid of that one piece of hair here, it wouldn't look that unibrowy.
Computer.
The 64K limit of the Commodore seems primitive in these days of 1 megabyte personal computers, but the good old C64 can hold its own running spreadsheets, databases, and word processors. And for the kid in you, the Commodore 64 has always been a great game machine with color and sound. The life of the C64 was also extended a few years ago.
Yeah, but in 1990, it was dated tech.
When Berkeley Softworks came out with the GEOS, a graphical user interface and operating system for the Commodore,
And I'm sure that ran smooth as silk.
which expanded its use into desktop publishing and graphics. But the real strength of the C64 comes down to two basic features.
A lot of the other systems are,
Yeah, man, now we're getting high definition unibrow.
for me, are a little too expensive, and Commodore's a inexpensive way to.
Sir, you need to invest in a tweezer for that unibrow. I've never seen one like it, man. And it's like it thins out, then goes right here, gets thick again in the center. Like, usually I see unibrow, it's like straight across. He has a unibrow with character.
Get started in computing. Besides the price, I like the availability
price.
of software. There's software.
Look at what a different time, man. Look at those shelves filled with boxes upon boxes upon boxes of software. You wouldn't see that now.
Lots of titles to choose from.
More than 2,000 retail outlets still sell the Commodore 64.
That 80s hair still slowly dying in the 90s with the big wave.
This particular store sells about 5 a month. And while you can't expect to find much customer support at a store like this, there is still a 24-hour toll-free customer support line for the good old Commodore 64. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Kate McGargy.
So, wait, that guy's working there. He's like, wait, they're filming. Let me look busy. Like, he's not even doing anything. We got to watch more of this man. Is this a professional? This is a professional man, ladies and gentlemen. We found a professional man. Let's observe this man let's observe this man in action.
Let's still sell the Commodore 64. This particular store sells about 5 a month. And while you can't expect to find much customer support at a store like this, there is still a 24-hour toll-free customer support line for the good old Commodore 64. For the Computer Chronicles, I'm Kate
He's
McGarry.
not doing anything. He's just like... What the fuck is he doing? You ain't doing shit. You're just pretending to do something because the fucking Computer Chronicles is there, you half-mullet dork. Like, wait, they're filming. Let me pretend to do something so I don't get fired. Like, you notice what he was probably fucking smoking like a cigarette outside or something. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, fuck, I forgot that the Computer Chronicles is coming here. My boss is going to see that I wasn't in the aisle doing something. Let me just move around a joystick all over the place to make it seem like, and move one label an inch. Phew, dodge that bullet. You totally look like you were doing something productive there, Cockatoo Fred, with that explosive hair.
The revived home computer market is drawing the attention of several industry giants like
Because he was totally not... Like, I've been in his shoes, too. Like, when you're working a terrible retail job, and it's like, oh, wait, fuck, someone's coming. All right, let me just move this can back and forth 37 times. It'll make me look busy. Like, that's exactly what he was doing. I'm not even insulting him. Well, maybe his hair. But he was literally doing exactly what I was saying.
Andy and Phillips. Joining us now is Tim White of Radio Shack and Frank Muniz of Magnavox.
Tim, we just saw...
These are serious men. They mean business. These look like CIA operatives. They're like, we're about to kill this motherfucker. Stuart, your comb-over's in trouble. Look at that, man. They would be... If they knocked on my door, I would literally just shit instantly. Like, if I heard... and I open a door and I see them looking at me, it would just be... Whoa! Whatever you need, I'll just take me.
IBM show us their new PS1 with
Seymour, Mr. Debical, talk to the CIA men.
How does your DeskMate interface differ from IBM's?
Well, one of the main differences between the DeskMate interface and the IBM's is
Tim White.
It's consistent throughout. The user only has to learn.
They're professional computer men, yes. That's what we'll call them.
Learn one interface. Several software manufacturers are developing software.
They co-invented. They worked on the cell with Toshiba and Sony IBM.
Under the DeskMate interface, such as Lotus, Q&A Write, Quicken, there are a myriad of others. And once
remember Commander? Yeah.
The user has learned the DeskMate interface, learning these other programs.
Hopefully, sometime in September. Cavron
is very simple because it's standard throughout.
Tim, is DeskMate an environment in which you do have to have compatible software? I mean, you can't...
Well, if my calculations were correct, you are a man with an ass.
Whoa!
Oh, God, that got to get lowered.
My jaw's hitting the ground.
All right, thank you.
Run any old piece of software under DeskMate?
You can run any PC-compatible software under DeskMate, execute a particular file within that software, and then when you're done with the software...
It'll probably be the last segment because it is 11:30. I got to get to bed.
Where you come back to the DeskMate desktop.
All right, run us through the interface. I see you have it up on the screen now.
Okay, first of all, DOS and the DeskMate shell are built into ROM. Most of the common DOS functions are built into the machine so that the user doesn't have to use the cryptic DOS language, copy, delete,
yeah, that looks totally streamlined.
Rename, changing directory, creating a directory, formatting, and
God, we have come a long way.
And copying diskettes, those are all built into the desktop so that the customer doesn't have to
It's like one step away from DOS.
use those DOS functions. Go into the text function, which is one of the DeskMate pieces of software. In addition to the interface, we have text.
Amazing sexual glasses.
Next, we have an address book, a calendar, PC link. We have draw down here, music and sound. There are a total of 10 different programs that come with DeskMate. Okay, we go in, we can execute actually the file rather than having to go into the program and then pull the file up. The artwork here was done with the
Bob's photo. You can't make it up, kids. Bob's photo.
DeskMate draw program we've set up.
Well, thank God. I'm having a special thank you sale for my preferred clients until the end of next month. Reprints from the same negative or buy two, get one free. Any swell are also buy two, get one free. If you pay when you place your order, you qualify for a 10% discount. Otherwise, full payment is due upon delivery. And of course, your satisfaction is guaranteed in either case from Bob's Photo. I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon. Sincerely, Bob Robin. Bob Robin? Bob Robin.
A mail merge document for this particular person that will then merge with the address book and generate a personalized letter to each person. We'll quickly take.
This man looks like Tucker Carlson's dad.
Take you through a couple of the other functions. The calendar function is one that's particularly useful. I can look here at my daily schedule.
It takes time to load the calendar. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow, it's amazing.
A monthly format.
I mean, think about it. This is before the Super Nintendo, man. Like, the Super Nintendo was going to be bleeding edge tech that wasn't even out yet, and it was pretty mind-blowing. It still blows me away, the Super Nintendo to this day. Like, you plug it in, and especially if you use, like, the analog consoles, the games still look beautiful on it. Not the 3D shit, like Star Fox looks like ass.
You notice here that my timeline.
I keep forgetting that Windows wasn't a thing, and it was a thing, but not like now. It's like you have a PC without Windows. Like, really, you're like using Linux. But back then, no, there were other OSs.
It shows where I have scheduled time. I can also look at a weekly format. The shaded areas show where I'm scheduled, or a daily itinerary. Okay, these can be edited.
Imagine a calculator, or imagine a calendar in 2021 being exciting.
There's an alarm that's associated with it for upcoming appointments, etc.
Tim, I want you to show me one particular interesting feature of this machine is the sound capability. In fact, in which you can edit sound in this, can't you?
Yes.
Well, we said yes. Hold on. This is serious.
The machine has a built...
The feature of this machine is the sound capability. In fact, in which you can edit sound in this, can't you?
Yes.
Oh. That is a weird yes. That is a yes that does not make me feel okay.
The machine has a built-in digital to analog converter, so the sound...
The calendar's name is Jim.
Capability.
Yes.
These are really quite interesting in it. We'll come down here to our test, something that we did a little earlier.
Imagine he was like, "Oh, hey, you want to hear a sound? You want to hear a sound demo?"
Oh!
Well, thank you. That's incredible.
And we can
3, 4, 5,
play this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So you have a
Oh, whoa!
sampler, if you will, built into this particular machine.
Correct.
It's 11 hertz sampling rate. Oh, Jesus. 11 no, not kilohertz.
Put and output.
Yeah.
And you can cut this and put it on something else and send it to a tape?
Mm-hmm.
So we have an editing capability.
Right.
Yeah, Frank, I want to turn now to you, and you've got another approach yet now to this home computer.
Yes,
Tell us a little
I
bit
should.
about the thinking and the philosophy behind the Head Start.
Well, the Head Start is truly designed to be very easy to set up, easy to use, and be a complete package. So when the customer gets home with the product,
This is when Magnavox wasn't just a shell of a company. Someone just owns the name now. I don't even think they really use it.
they have everything they possibly need.
Like Magnavox in the 90s, in the early 90s anyway, it was still like a tour de force of like a company.
To get up and running real quickly.
All right, so what's your approach to the interface?
The approach to our interface is what we call the Head Start environment. This environment allows for anywhere you may wish to go on the hard drive.
Jesus, why the mouse is moving like it's on a grid. Oh,
You can
God.
select different options. Up here we have applications. Under application,
But what, they made the software, Magnavox? What the fuck is this?
the system comes bundled with 16 top-rated pieces of software, such as Quattro, Q&A 3.0.
Like, I remember back in like the 80s and 90s, you had like a Magnavox CD player. Like, that's when it was just like a component. People had component stereos were big back then. Like, you were, that was considered creme de la creme, man.
All this stuff?
No, it is not. Q&A 3.0.
Well, that sounded like a moment of disappointment. Is this installed? No, it is not. Oh, I'm sorry for asking. Like, what the fuck just happened there?
Publish It, Deluxe Paint 2, and quite a few other pieces of software. It also includes Prodigy. Under pop-ups, you have the ability of pulling up calendars and date books and things such as that. Under
It's just amazing that this stuff was exciting. Like, I know I have to put my brain back into 1990, but, you know, now it's like, imagine, like, wow, you have a phone with a calculator on it? Whoa!
setup, you can actually go in and change the screen sizing, make the environment look how you'd prefer it to look versus how it comes out of the box. And under utilities, since many people are afraid of using DOS, here they can come and log a different disk, such as an A drive. They can format, copy, rename, delete, and perform most of the DOS functions right from the
Frank,
environment.
one of the features I want you to show us is the ability to move about from one application to another within this interface. And I think you have a paint to publish example you can show us.
That is correct. What I can do is go into Deluxe Paint 2, which
You sound so excited about doing. Yeah, I could go into Deluxe Paint 2.
is a graphics drawing program.
They paid me half of what I wanted to get paid to be on this show today. I'm pissed.
I'm going to go up
And that's part of the bundled package?
This is part of the system. And I can load a particular picture.
Yo, it's taking time. Load that picture. Come on, Junior.
And what I can do is capture this picture.
And what kind of display do we have? This is VGA.
This is VGA, correct. What I
VGA, I believe, was video graphics adapter, was 256 colors simultaneously on the screen. That was a big deal.
can do is capture this picture and go back to the Head Start environment. And now we will pull in Publish It. What this is going to allow us to do is actually combine a spreadsheet, a database, word processing, or graphics, which are all included with the system in a desktop publishing format so that a person could actually create their own letterheads, logos. And I'm going to open.
Oh my, yeah, this is supposed to be seamless. They're making this like this is convenient. Man, I could have taken 2 shits in the period that this photo got copied and pasted over to another program. Oh my God. Listen, this is what I think of this. It's like magic. This is like magic too. Magic ass. Oh, I smell that. Okay.
And you can pull up that graphic
Yeah.
that you created in the paint.
Phew. Wow.
Gentlemen, quickly to get an idea of where we are price-wise here. Tim, what
Oh my God, I would cry if it's, dude, I do that kind of shit every day. If it took that long, like I'm mad when it takes like more than like 10 minutes for me to send a raw video file to my editor, let alone it taking like 2 minutes just to copy and paste a fucking picture from one app to another. That was longer than they probably edited that down too. How much is this shit?
what's the cost, and real quick, what's the hardware inside this TL2?
Okay, it's a 286 base machine with 20 megabyte hard drive,
Whoa.
CGA monitor, $1698 retail.
Dude, and this is the same year that I got the Sega Genesis in exchange for a 100 megabyte hard drive from my dad's friend, because my dad had a 100 megabyte hard drive and my friend George had the Sega Genesis. That was today like a shit. That was a huge hard drive back then. This is 20 megabytes that they're boasting right now. How much is this thing?
Okay, Frank?
The version we have here, the Head Start 300, is $19.95 suggested retail.
Holy shit.
We also have the same machine with CD-ROM capability, which is $24.99.
$500 extra just to have a CD-ROM. Man, have times changed. But that 1990, like having a CD-ROM drive, you were like, you may as well have a Rolls Royce in your fucking driveway.
286 based.
fine.
We also have it in 386 SX.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. In just a minute.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm tired. It's that time. Times have changed. So think about it. That machine was 2000 with a 20 megabyte hard drive. Imagine how much that hard drive alone was. Wish I knew now. My dad actually probably got ripped off with that transaction. But anyway, regular chat, super chat. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for coming through. And I will see you tomorrow with more content. Have a good one.